had an extra spicy chicken sandwich?
Yeah, of course.
Cool. And then if we do some, do you have the jalapeno bacon fries?
We do not, but we can do like baconator fries and then the jalapenos.
Yeah, let's do one of those. What do you want?
Me? Where are the nugs? Number 3.
Can we do 2, you want spicy or regular?
Yeah.
Can we do 2 10-piece spicy chicken nuggets?
Okay.
They hate me.
No, this is gonna be great. This is great.
Dude, they fucking hate me.
No, yeah, just like get behind when that car pulls up. Just be like, I'm the RV.
So, here we go.
You know, I made a video about going to take my dogs to the beach because that was my promise to them, to be a good dog dad, I guess. It was a good trip, but it was riddled with a bunch of things that happened that I'm gonna walk you through everything. The first thing being is that as a 30-year-old dude, I don't feel qualified to drive an RV with a 14-foot trailer. I feel like you'd have to have a CDL for that sort of thing. So towing a trailer behind a 28-foot RV down these windy beach roads off a cliffside, it's just, I don't feel like anyone prepped me to do this as an adult. Like the whole time I was driving it, I just felt like I'm not qualified to do this. I need a CDL or something. It's just, I felt like the whole time I was driving the RV with this trailer and everything on it, pulling thousands of pounds, I just felt like I wanted someone else to drive, like my dad should drive or something. Like I need an adult to do this for me. I was never prepped on towing anything behind my car. Why am I doing this? That was the first thing. That was super scary. And when I first started driving that down the highway, I was afraid I was gonna bump into everything. And then on the way back, it was good. It was like, get out of my way. I'm doing 80 miles an hour. So it was like trial by fire. 1,300 miles of towing something behind you, and you'll become a pro at backing in a trailer or launching a boat. So one of the other little bumps along our travels was that the side-by-side windshield came off. It's somewhere on a highway, either in Idaho or in Oregon, because after a long day of driving, like 10 hours, we get out, we walk around, make sure everything on the trailer is tied down real good, checking our connections, and we realize after we walk around that there's nothing here anymore. And I bought this and it came with a windshield, and you'd think that it would be secured to the side-by-side, but it's not. It literally just had the sticky tape on it, I guess. That was holding the windshield down, and we just never knew. Because why wouldn't the windshield be bolted on? So that was fun. And obviously we're going to the beach, right? So when we're driving down the beach, you don't want sand blowing in your face, so we did not prep for this. We also brought the motorcycles to Oregon. I brought this 450, and then I brought this 250. And so fitting a side-by-side and these two motorcycles on the trailer was pretty tight fit. And again, we were using the tie downs to kind of clamp them down. And again, I don't really feel qualified to be doing that. You know, you're just like, I hope they're secure. I hope they don't fall off the trailer. I think I did a good job, right? Like you try to tie the handlebars down on the front tires and everything. So after we got them all the way to the beach, it turns out in Oregon, there's pretty much nowhere to ride at all unless you're street legal, which that one is, but obviously this one isn't. On top of that, when we got it off the trailer, it wouldn't start at first, and I just had some work done on this, so that freaked me out. In addition to that, the side here was up against the side-by-side, and so this now has all this side-by-side. I could probably buff this out. Damage just from going down the highway that I didn't really think would happen because I tied the stuff down too tight on the side-by-side. It's the same thing for this one. Like this handlebar here is all scuffed up on the side, then it almost broke the blinker switch off, like here, like that's, I don't know how you buff that out, but like at least everything still works on this. So now I'm going to show you what happened while we were flying down the road at 80 miles an hour in the RV. The weather stripping started coming off. You can see these black pieces of tape here. Because this plastic inside, the seal, just started flying off down the middle of the highway. And so we had to stop and put this back on. And this isn't an old RV either. This is like a 2019, I believe. This is just the one side with the tape, but it happened on both sides. So what we ended up doing We were flying down the highway, you know, flapping in the wind, being super loud, so we grabbed it and we like rolled it up into the windows until we could stop and find a place to pull over. And that wasn't easy to do when you have this 28-foot RV and a 14-foot trailer. Every turn becomes, you know, you're like an 18-wheeler. You have to take super wide turns, and so it wasn't just like everywhere you went, you had to know if there's a way out. Because there's a couple times where we went into a gas station where we couldn't get out. We had to like do the Austin Powers, you know, like this 50,000 times to get out of the gas station. Another thing that happened, which I guess isn't really a drag, that's just the Pacific Northwest, is that it was pretty off and on the weather. And one day it just rained all day, and that was the day we scheduled to take the dogs out and go play on the beach all day. And it was like someone taking one of those Misty spray bottles with a little fan that you spray in your face in the summertime. It was like someone doing that to you all day. It was raining. It was honestly kind of nice to just sit in the RV and do nothing. Another thing that you don't really think about, or that I didn't think about, was stopping to get food. Because you can't go into any of the restaurants really in Oregon. They were all closed inside. So you got to go through the drive-thru. How do you do that with an RV and a trailer behind? But we did it anyways. We found the only Wendy's that didn't have like the little driveway up to the window on the side. And we pulled up next to it, and I got out on foot and I just ordered. Everyone behind us was like, really? Guy, and I knew it the whole time. I was like, I don't want to be this guy. I'm really sorry, but we've been driving for hours and I'm hungry. Just give me some spicy chicken nuggets, please. Another thing that happened was that Google thought there was construction on the highway where there wasn't construction. It ended up putting me in my big RV and trailer to downtown Portland. Took us straight through the tiny little one-way streets. If you've ever been to any major city, you know, the one-way streets and the tiny little turns and people walking everywhere, like that with an RV and a trailer and a bunch of stuff on the back was, I think, it made me never want to drive again. Oh dude, I was so done with the trip. It was just like, it was just one thing after the next when we were doing this, and every time it's like, I'm done. I just want to go back, except it's 900 miles back, so like this is not really feasible, and it'd probably be even worse and compounded. Oh, what about when we had to stay at a trucker stop? That was fun. I never stayed at a truck stop before. Didn't really know what to expect. All right, so we're out at this truck stop. There's the slide over here that keeps flickering like that. You know, we got the RV parked here, the light on with all the other people, because, you know, there'd be more eyes if something was wrong. And no one can hear your screams when they're muffled by the sound of an 18-wheeler. So that's cool. And then on top of that, we have this place over here looking like Bates Motel. The O in motel is flashing. Quality. We just found a gas station on the side of the highway somewhere and tried to park next to Billy Bob and his 18-wheeler. And then I made the intern. Oh, let's go down here. Let's go down to the basement. One thing I didn't really think about, because I'd never really done it before, was paraglide on the beach. You see it, it looks fun, and if you're afraid of heights, you wouldn't be afraid of floating down the sand, because that looks awesome. And so that's what I thought would be fun. And what I failed to consider was all the sand that would get inside of the glider and how difficult it would be to get out of it. Now there's probably some technique to get all the sand out of it. Yeah, I probably still have enough sand in here for a sand castle. I don't have like a leaf blower or anything. I think that might be a good way to get it out. But otherwise you just have to like hand dump it. But he had fun. He had never done this before, and he had fun. And I had never done this before, and it was so awesome, dude. It was just like run up the hill, glide down the hill. It was like 5 minutes of setup, 10 seconds of floating down. Oh yeah, and then we had the side-by-side, which was the plan for HR lady to be our driver. And so we fly down and she'd drive us back up. And we fly down and she'd drive us back. It was so fun. It was so, like that moment, that made all this stuff worth it, just because it was just day after day of what could go wrong next. There's no wind on the beach. I'd never been to a beach in my life that never had wind, but apparently in Oregon it exists. So then the next day, we went back to the beach because there was finally some wind, and we got set up, and then the gusts rolled in at like 30 miles an hour, and it almost just ripped the paraglider out of my hands into the trees, and it freaked me out. It freaked HR lady out. Like, I wasn't connected to my harness or anything, so it wasn't gonna suck me away. It almost like ripped it out of my hands. What are you eating? Don't eat the, no, Luna, you're gonna get splinters in your teeth. It's not a treat. I promise you didn't get something that you got. I promise. All right. Get him. We stopped at this place called Haystack Rock, which was pretty cool. Just a giant rock in the ocean, and it looks like a haystack. It looks like something that you've probably seen on a calendar or on the wall somewhere. Most of Oregon looked like a Disney theme park, if we're being honest. It didn't look real while you were there. The clouds were all low over the mountains and stuff, and it looked fake. It looked like someone had a green screen and they projected it. Like it just looked like a Disney movie. This just shows you how much I've never seen the world. Oh yeah, let's come over here. We forgot one thing. We forgot, let me show you what else happened. You can see this is where you would put a tag on a trailer to show that it's registered and legal. And obviously this is the temporary tag they give you, the paper one in the bag. It just ripped off down the road and we didn't know. We didn't know until we were on our way back. It even has these metal rings to help keep the paper and the bag like secure. The zip ties are still on. It just ripped off of the zip ties. Unbelievable. I don't know how we didn't get pulled over, especially going through downtown Portland. That just makes us look dumb. Okay, so I'll tell you what happened is, we unhooked the trailer from the back of the RV with everything still on it. What do you think happens when you do that? Well, the trailer tilts up and slams into the ground. That's exactly what we did. We unhooked it, and I got into the side-by-side to back off, and then the trailer went fa-boom and just slammed upright, and then I freaked out, and then I put it back into drive and drove forward, and it went swa-boom back down the other side, and then I was like, oh no. And then I realized, it's already down. I've already moved it. And so I backed it up again, and it slammed up again, and then I got off of the RV, or I got off of the trailer, and now there's no weight holding it up. And so it slammed back down again. So we learned not to unhook the trailer until everything is off of the trailer. One thing I did think was pretty cool about this trip is that the people that were living at these campsites just had the simplest life. I mean, maybe it was their choice, maybe they had hard times, but you would never know because they looked just as happy as anyone with a house or a mansion, or probably even happier than those people. And they just had a simple life. I mean, a lot of them were older, but there were some younger people that just wanted to kind of live that off-the-grid life, and it gave me a lot of perspective of just how much people need to truly be happy. Like, their bills are probably $200 a month. You get unlimited electricity, water, sewage. Yeah, at the campsite you could buy Wi-Fi for a day. It was 5 megabits down. Didn't tell you your upload, so I assume it's probably like 0.001, but anyways, I'm just a millennial that needs internet, I guess. But these people, they didn't care. Or maybe they had their own satellite dish or something. But either way, it seemed like it would be a cool lifestyle to live. Maybe not forever, but for a while, maybe like a year or so. Every day felt really long, and that was kind of cool. Oh boy, look at those clouds. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had a laugh. We certainly can laugh about it now, but at the time it was like, I'm so done with taking trips for the rest of my life. But if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and click like, click subscribe, and let me know what else you'd like to see. We got lots of fun stuff I'd like to show you, but like, what do you want to see first, I guess? Okay, see you in the next one.